Freedom Dube and Prince Mapena are about to do one of the most dangerous jobs on Earth. They're known as Zama-Zamas, illegal gold miners, trying to strike it rich in Johannesburg's treacherous abandoned gold mines. 500 metres underground, with no safety gear and do-it-yourself explosives. This is the hidden world of South Africa's illegal gold miners. Just half an hour from downtown Johannesburg, this is Durban Deep, perhaps the most notorious of South Africa's 6,000 abandoned mines. Having taken most of the gold, $20 billion worth, the company that ran the mine closed it down 12 years ago. But the faint hope that there's still some gold left has attracted around 5,000 people to move onto the land. Most illegal immigrants from neighbouring countries. I meet up with Freedom and Prince, who both came here from Zimbabwe.
Yes.
They've done it plenty of times before, but they still need a drink before going underground. Is the beers an essential part?
Yeah, some of these is getting places. So if you're not sober, like, at least you can see yourself passing that place without even fear.
Wow.
Yeah.
You literally have to get drunk to go down here.
Yeah.
Freedom and Prince seem genuinely scared. They're only here because Zimbabwe has an 80% unemployment rate.
I had one intention. I like to be someone in life, you see.
Freedom has a partner and child here who depend on him. Prince is hoping to make enough money to go back to college.
I was studying development studies in university. I wanted to work with NGOs.
Mm-hmm. We have this impression that a young man who's comes from a good family, who sends him to school and university, he's not going to end up illegally gold mining in South Africa. That's not the career progression.
That's how Zimbabwe's situation leads to this situation.
Even so, making a living in Durban Deep is a risky business. Last year, 40 people died in South Africa's abandoned mines, and above ground, they're at the mercy of criminal gangs.
We've been robbed several times.
Really?
Yes.
When was the last time?
Early last year, I think.
What happened?
We're getting out of the mine, carrying our stuff. They gunpointed us.
Oh, sounds like a scary world. It's not as simple as just go down a hole and find gold. On top of that, the guys have to buy off the gangs that control all the mine entrances.
When we are getting in, we pay 50 rand per head. Then when we are getting out, 100 rand.
Really?
Yeah. Danger outside, danger inside.
So that's that one. The gangs won't let us film in the mines, so Freedom and Prince agree to film for us. Okay. Good luck, guys.
Thank you.
Take care. You can call me when you come out, yeah? It's quite poignant, really, watching the guys go off there. They're so young and foolhardy. But the reality is that around here, miners die all the time underground. These guys have nothing to back them up. Prince films near the hole that leads into the mine. All the bravado can't cover their nervous laughter. Off camera, they've already paid the gang that controls this territory. Now they're ready to go underground. The original mine entrance was blocked up years ago, so they get into the mine's tunnels through an illegally dug shaft. Even in the old mine tunnels, their descent is incredibly risky. In a commercial mine, there would be lights, elevators, structural support. These tunnels haven't been maintained for over a decade.
Give me bit.
Freedom and Prince have spent an hour sliding down near vertical tunnels. They're now 500 meters underground. The further they go, the tighter it gets. After 4 hours of perilous descent, they stop for the night. The search for gold starts tomorrow. When the mine was closed, the electricity and water were cut off too. But many of the miners and their families are squatting in the old mining quarters. The police recorded 88 murders in this precinct last year. Just last night, someone was murdered near one of the old mine's waste tips. Charity Shaba works in Durban Deep selling clothes to miners. She offered to show me where the murder happened. Yeah, it's a proper wasteland, this, isn't it?
It's still part of the mine.
Because you don't know what's behind any of these piles of sand. There could be guys here or in the bushes. This is where the murder happened. Charity usually avoids the area. She was robbed here just last year.
When they came here, one took the gun and put it here on my stomach. And they said, where is the money and where is the phone?
God, that's scary. Did you think they were going to shoot you that day?
As I walked away and when I got to the road, that's when I started shaking.
Then, a cattle herder approaches us with a warning.
Namanje lo mfana lo benna batleta kumthathele 50 rand man nabanye beva lapha bababambe enkulu hayi ayikho right le ndawo njengoba nathi siyachifta nje sesiya ngale ezansi.
I think we head back. I'll let you catch the cows. Just minutes ago, someone was robbed over there, and it sounds like it happens regularly. No, people aren't exaggerating at all. This is not a safe place to be. Later, Charity takes me to the place nearby where she used to live with her 3-year-old son, Emmanuel.
This is my house, that's where I was staying. The house got burnt. My son was living with me. We called for the fire brigade. It couldn't come because it only comes here only when it's escorted. The police, they will tell you that place is no longer in the map.
Charity has no idea why it was targeted. It's hard for the police to investigate crimes like this. They often get shot at when they come to Durban Deep. Charity was so frightened, she sent her son to stay with her sister in Zimbabwe.
His little face. You must miss Emmanuel.
So much, yeah.
So have you ever considered going back to Zimbabwe?
To stay?
Yeah.
No.
Even now, after everything you've been through?
No, because at home now the situation is difficult. I failed in life if I go back with nothing. No.
After telling her family that she can make money in South Africa, she has no choice but to make it work. Back underground, it's 4 in the morning. Freedom and Prince's hopes are pinned on what they find now. Freedom is drilling using the most basic equipment. In the 40-degree heat, it's breathless, back-breaking work. Next, they prepare the explosives. To double their chances, they halve the dynamite. This is incredibly risky. They're so far from any kind of help if it goes wrong. But they're still joking around. Freedom's friend Tabs inserts the explosives into the hole. He pushes it as far as he can. It's sealed up and the fuse lit.
Yeah, this thing do chai. Just by the izwakale ngawisanga lutani but ukuchai.
The tiny tunnel is now filled with dust. When it clears, they can see they've dislodged plenty of rock. But does it contain gold? Within this rock could be gold that changes the lives of Freedom and Prince. But they won't know for sure until they make it back to the surface. The longer I spend in Durban Deep, the more I hear how dangerous it is. As well as 88 murders, last year the police received reports of 79 rapes here. The real figure is likely to be even higher. Charity takes me to meet a woman called Connie.
No, Connie, are you there?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Shay. Nice to meet you.
Connie and her boyfriend used to run a bar for Durban Deep's miners. One night, a group of men came in.
So the night that it happened, tell me how that evening started.
Okay, one of those guys, I remember him because we had a fight the weekend before.
About what?
You know, they like to touch you when they're drunk. I'll be like swearing at them and then I'll be like, don't touch me. I saw them coming in. They were like 4. He had a gun and then he was like looking at me. They took me outside. They took me by the bushes. That's where then they told me to take off my... I had a tracksuit on. They said I must put my tracksuit off. Then the first one raped me. The second one also raped me. The third one also raped me. Then they left me. They told me not to look back, to run.
I don't even know what to say to you. I want to say I'm sorry, it feels so pointless.
Now I'm having all these nightmares all over again. I can't take it out of my mind.
You have flashbacks?
Sometimes I just wake up and at night, the same dreams, the same thing that happened.
Charity, this is why you sent your son away, right?
Yeah.
I think hearing this must reinforce for you that you made the right decision, yeah?
Yeah, sending him home. I made the right decision, but the child might grow up and think maybe you didn't want him.
It must have been the hardest thing to do. What do you think the government should do about Durban Deep?
Should shut it down. And it's where criminals, they like to go because they know even the police, they're scared of that place. That place is not for people to live in.
Connie, thank you very much for talking to us. Can I give you a hug? Thank you. Take care, okay?
Freedom and Prince have now been underground for 3 days. It's time for lunch and a chat about TV shows. In their real-life drama, the guys are carefully bagging up the mined rocks, which they think might contain gold. Some illegal miners have become so desperate, they've started breaking into gold mines that are still operating. An hour from Joburg are the mines of Sibanye Stillwater, the biggest gold producer in South Africa. Security cameras record the kind of risks Zama-Zamas are willing to take to break in.
Okay, this is the cage.
I'm joining an operation with the company's security team. Last year, they caught more than 1,000 illegal miners in these tunnels.
You'll experience some pressure on your ears as we're going down. You'll be travelling at about 9 meters per second.
Today, they're acting on a tip-off that there are Zama-Zamas in one of the deepest parts of the mine, nearly 2.5 kilometres underground.
Where are these guys going?
These guys are the three things.
Okay.
So they will come in from the top of the stope and then they will work their way down to us.
Right. There's a pincer movement going on here where two teams have been dropped off about 1 kilometre above us. They're going to slowly work their way down the tunnels, sweeping any of the illegal miners who are there towards us, the stopping team. And we're going to be positioned here at the only exit that they could possibly come out of.
So we do as we normally do. Switch off our lamp. We are quiet now from here to the stope until the operation is finished, until we find Simon and these guys. All right.
It's incredibly strange. We're sitting underground in pitch darkness. We can hear movement up above. It may be the security team. It may even be some of the Zama-Zamas who are there pushing out. But eventually, someone's going to come out of the darkness over there.
The security team emerges with news that they found where the Zama-Zamas were sleeping.
Yeah, do you think they slept there this morning?
I believe so, yeah. I believe so.
We're given the okay to move forward and see where they've been living.
Now that I'm coming out of the mine, I'm starting to appreciate what Freedom and the guys do when they come down here. I mean, I was in a ventilated mine shaft, but the temperature still got up to 30, 32 degrees, whereas where he could be mining, it might be 40, up to 50 degrees. He doesn't have an oxygen supplying box on his waist. I can't get my head around the risks that he takes, and now that I've actually seen it, I'm even more in awe of him, frankly.
After 4 exhausting days underground, with no more food or dynamite, Freedom and Prince are preparing to return to the surface. Unlike the active mines, there's no lift to take them back up. And they have no idea if the rocks they're carrying actually contain any gold. Later that morning, I'm waiting for them above ground, as close to the mine entrance as I dare to get.
Hey, Freedom, how's it going? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, okay. All right, you're coming towards us now.
Freedom's anxious we don't come near the guy who's processing what they've brought to the surface.
Don't think even you are safe here. You see. So this place is not a good place for
All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, thanks for the warning.
All right.
You take care, yeah?
Okay, let me go and pass.
I'll see you later. Basically, there are gangsters behind these bushes, and if they see me and a camera, they're likely to shoot at us. I almost didn't recognise Freedom then. He looks very scared. He's almost smaller in stature. And I'm starting to understand that around here, once you've actually got gold in your hands, that becomes a very sensitive and dangerous situation. I've got no choice but to follow his advice and get out as soon as I can.
I'll have to wait till later to find out if their 4 days underground were worth it. I can't watch Freedom's rock being processed, but Fanny Nkosi, a local gold buyer, has convinced some of his processors to let us film them.
So now it is coming to the latest to crush them.
They're fighting over who gets to do it.
They are fighting. Check here. Here is gold.
Yeah, I can see gold
Very
in
rich,
there.
you see?
Yeah, I can see. And is this why everyone's so excited, wants to process this?
Everyone involved in the process gets a cut of the profits, so any potential gold find could mean a lot to these women.
So now we are losing another process there of mercury and catching of gold.
Oh, are they doing it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go and see.
They spin the crushed rock with mercury, which amalgamates with the gold. But mercury is also highly toxic.
Now it's going to take this for penning. I want to pen.
This is the riskiest part of the whole thing. The mercury is burned off. Mercury fumes can cause brain damage and ultimately death. But Fanny doesn't seem worried.
And that's it, that's the gold?
Yeah, that is the gold there. Now I'm going to put it on scale to see how many grams. So it is showing that it is 5 points.
0.5 grams.
0.5. All right.
The amount of gold is minuscule. They've ended up with $25 worth of gold, I'm told, but it wouldn't be enough to make a piece of jewellery.
Freedom and Prince's rocks would have been processed by now. I want to find out if they've struck gold.
How did it go?
It was bad.
Bad?
It was promising from under the underground then. But when you come outside, sometimes it's promising, then only to find out on the other side it's not good. Yeah.
It's gut-wrenching to see them so deflated. They're now in debt, as they can't even pay back the loan they took out to buy supplies for the trip.
Around here, the mines are finished.
And what will you do? Will you move to another mining area?
That's how it works. We don't have a choice. Yeah.
Everybody here lives on the dream that you find some gold and everything will be all right, but I think it's becoming painfully obvious to them that that's just not going to happen.
We all have an idea of what a gold rush looks like. But in Durban Deep, the hope and excitement are gone. Desperation and lawlessness have taken their place. Freedom and Prince are still chasing gold. 3 days after I left them, they went back underground. Charity is looking for a new place to live. Connie is hoping to enroll in university. And crime in Durban Deep continues. 24 hours after we finished filming, there were 2 more murders.
Thanks for watching. Click the logo to subscribe for more award-winning documentaries from the Unreported World team. We upload videos every Sunday, keeping you up to date with content from all over the world.